Now it tells you it's got 4,010 PSI on it, and it comes on every time you tilt it up. So it tells you how much air you got on it. It will not blow air out unless you open this. If you hit this red, and this is always red for an emergency, because that's usually what everybody equates emergency to, something red. You know, don't touch the red button; it'll blow something up. That's what they always say. And you see what this does? That's an alarm that's built into the system as well. If I was to fall down in a fire and couldn't get up, say a ceiling fell on me or something like that, that alarm allows people to know outside that I'm in danger, that somebody else might have to come in and get me. And it starts out with a silent, low pitch alarm, but it'll get louder, it'll get louder, faster. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? And it gets worse than that. But that's what happens. Firefighters are always moving. If they're wearing this, they're moving. So they're not going to be still long enough for that to do that. So when you do hear it, you know something's wrong. Everybody good with that? Okay.
I want to hear it like when it's the worst.
All you gotta do is that right there. You know, our little joke is when you got this on your back. Let me just show you this. I'm gonna take my glasses off because I'm gonna put it on the mask. This is a joke that y'all would like because y'all are young. It's got straps. When it's on, it's on. It don't go nowhere. Okay. For the most part, if you put it on right, it'll, like if I loosen them belts and tighten this, all the weight's on my hip. So it's not on my shoulder. See, I can take it off my shoulder, and it allows me, I can still bend a lot. Like you can tell, I'm moving around enough that this thing's not gonna go off. If I stand still for a few seconds and don't move, it's going to go off. Okay. Now, the reason this thing right here is turned this way is because I want to read it. I can flip it up like this, and it reads right. It's made for me to look at it, not anybody else to look at it. So when it's down like this, to you it looks upside down, but when I look at it, it's right side up. So anyway, what I was saying about this being red. This is the emergency bypass valve. This allows me to get air. If anything else stops working, I can always open this up and get air. Of course, I don't want to open it all the way, but I can open it up a little bit, get a little bit of air. I can open it up a lot, get a lot of air. Stay still too long. Now, what I was going to tell you is the trick, the little thing that we call in the fire department is we call it firefighter twerking. You know what I'm talking about? Because what do we do when we stand around outside and we ain't doing nothing? We're being still. Alarms start going off. You know what a firefighter does? He starts twerking. He does that to make that alarm go off because he gets tired of hearing it too. I know, it's funny. Told you, y'all would get that. I knew you would. Anyway. This mask, and for the most part, it'd be like this most of the time, and I wouldn't, or it'd be fastened right there, and I'd put the mask on by myself. When I put the mask on, I pull the straps over, and I seal it. So it's sealed all the way around my face. So you can tell there's no air, no gaps. You know, and you see what I'm saying about a beard. If a beard was on there, it would hold it away from my face and allow like this. You hear the difference in my voice. But this is so on. I can breathe fine. There's nothing obscuring my breathing at all. But when you put this on, when you put the regulator on, it's going to seal off this area here, but it's also gonna allow me to breathe the air through this regulator. Is what it's called, a regulator. It's gonna allow me to breathe air through the regulator in, and it's gonna allow me to exhale on the side in the vents right here. So it's not gonna obscure or suffocate me. People that's claustrophobic would have a problem with this. So people claustrophobic don't like something that they feel like they're suffocating. It's not just claustrophobic like hiding in a closet. It's claustrophobic where you feel like you're gonna suffocate. And this right here, you would. If you have any kind of claustrophobia at all, you will definitely know it when you put one of these on. Okay, now, with this, I can put it on my face, and you'll hear, when I attach this and take a breath, that's when everything activates. This will start giving me positive pressure air. It'll start activating my voice amp over here, and for a few seconds you will probably hear me breathe, but it filters it out after about a minute or less. It'll filter out my breathing, and you'll just hear me talking. So, you hear me breathing? Okay, now wait, and you'll hear my voice. See? Just give it a second, and it'll get better and better. Anyways, I can talk a little bit better. You don't hear me breathing through it like you did. Because I can talk and it's still, you might hear breathing, but you won't hear the breathing when I'm talking as much. It filters the breathing between the breathing and my voice. It'll filter each one. So I can talk like this, take a breath, and you won't hear it, but you'll hear me talking. That's the components of this device. Is it's got a lot of electronics in it, but you don't see it. You think it's just a bottle, a mask, and this little piece right here, that's it. So there's a lot more to it. There's actually a whole computer system back here built into it, along with a bunch of alarms and stuff like that. Like I said, the motion sensors, if you be still, it's called a pass device. It's basically just a device that tells you if you're moving or not. And then the air, that tells me here. The heads up display down here in my mask, all I gotta do is look down and I can see different lights. It'll tell me if right now there's no lights on. The only time they come on was when I first turned it on. It probably lights up my mask then. Tells me everything's okay. There's a little red triangle right now flashing in it. There's a little red triangle flashing when that starts beeping. That's telling me I've been still. So in some situations, fires can be very loud, believe it or not. So I might not even hear this thing going off. With all the equipment I have, I also have stuff over my ears and stuff. So it also flashes on my mask, a little red triangle. And just like anything else, red always means something, dangerous. So the red triangle pops up there, tells me that I've been still too long, just in case I didn't hear the bell. There's also a couple other devices or lights down in this thing. One's like a human, a shadow of a human while he's running. So that's probably more telling me to get out when it gets to a certain point. When I'm low on oxygen, it'll tell me to get out. This is not, by the way, this is not oxygen I'm breathing. It's a normal room air, just like y'all are devising right now for y'all's system. This is nothing more than normal room air. It's just purified. It's just purified to the point where where it will, don't have any toxins in it. It's just got normal stuff in it, just like anything else. There it is. Okay. Now, this thing's still working, but it's not breathing. It's not giving blowing air out or nothing like that. It's designed when I take it off. When I put it on, it's designed to give me air. Okay. But I got my bottle turned on, so that's warning me that the bottle might be out of air. That bell warns you that you're really low on air to the point where you're about out. And that's telling me there's no air in the system, so it's gonna warn me too. So I can turn it off. You see it's red? That's telling me there's no air because I got it turned off, but it also tells you if you're out. So when it's red, the flash is red, you see lights flashing on the back of it anywhere?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Them are all signs that you're out of air. The lights back there are not for me. If I don't have any air, I'm probably passed out on the ground. They're for him, or somebody like him. He's gonna come in, see them lights flashing. It helps him find me. Between the noise that I'm putting off by bells ringing and the red lights flashing, he knows where to come to get me. And at that point in time, I'm in trouble. So, anyways, that's a brief summary of the system we have. And if you would bring me the monitor, and I want to show them the pulse oximeter and stuff like that. This is the fire side of it. He's gonna bring a monitor in that's part of our medical equipment, and that'll give you another idea of how to monitor oxygen concentrations, which is what it does. It actually measures if our body is getting enough oxygen in the blood. That could be, it could either be detrimental to us or tell us that we're fine. So, anybody kind of understand this pretty good, or I got to turn this thing off? So until I turn it off, and there's a series of things you got to do. You hit it twice, and it'll power itself off, and everything shuts down. So. That way I can leave it sitting there and it won't go sounding off all in the alarm. So, these things are designed, like I told you before, there's computers all in this thing, you just don't see them. There's trips to these things. I can do them better when I'm on this side here. Usually I can do it pretty easy. That's what it's supposed to be. There it is. Okay. It's they call it a quick connect, but instead of screwing something on, you just pop it on. And then, of course, it's supposed to pop off like that. This allows us to change the bottles out, relatively quick. I can take the bottle off, put another bottle on, go right back to work. That's what it's designed. What I'm going to show you is this is the system, the brains to this whole thing is right here. It's all designed, and you can imagine what I've showed you already, what it does. It's all controlled by these two boxes here, and there's nothing but a lot of microchips and one big battery. The battery on this one, gotta get the strap, because that actually is this strap is actually the key to take the battery out. The battery that works this system is right here, and that is nothing more than a sealed up waterproof battery holder, and it holds 6 C-size batteries. So like a Energizer battery or something like that. That's all it is. It's just 6 C-size batteries. They go in this kit. You can see when I take that out, you see there ain't nothing but a giant hole in there. That's why I said that's the brains to this operation right here. These two packs on this side is the brains. All this does right here, does them connections to that battery, hooks to there, powers the whole system up, so it'll work. That's only, it's that simple. And 6 C-size batteries operates that whole deal. And we have to change the batteries out every so often because they do eventually do get bad.
109.46.
It checks the system out. Anytime I take the battery out and put it back in, it does a self-diagnosis to it, diagnostic testing, so it'll test all the systems, tell me if it's okay. If it's okay, then I can turn it off. And it powers off like that. Okay. By the way, this is Mike. Y'all don't know Mike. Mike's one of my firemen over here. He is he's got the system here that, where's the pulse oximeter? Y'all understand about oxygen concentrations. Y'all have an idea of what y'all are trying to design is to make sure that babies are breathing adequate amount of oxygen, that they're getting out of the air, to make sure that their oxygen stays at a certain level. And you know, everybody knows that 100% oxygen means you're getting the best oxygen by breathing in that you possibly can. The lower you get percentages, the worse it can be. There's a boundary line. I think 90% now. Yeah. What they change it from time to time, but it's now at 90%. If you're getting 90% or better oxygen in your blood, that, you know, every time your heart beats and puts blood through your lungs and brings that oxygen out and puts it out through your body, this device measures that oxygen concentration in your bloodstream. And it does it by just simple putting it on your finger. The simplest thing in the world. It don't hurt. It's the most easiest thing in the world.
That happened to me twice.
So,
You know, tell us right here.
if you're doing anywhere between 90% and 100%, you're perfectly fine. I mean, as far as your oxygen concentration goes.
It has to regulate, so it'll go up.
Yeah, it'll filter it out and it'll balance out.
JJ Smith.
It also lets us know if somebody's having a breathing problem. Like when they're telling us they're having a breathing problem, and we can check and tell, you know, they got bronchitis or something, and we tell how wet their lungs are. A lot of times, how the exchange in there. 98%, 99. You're getting plenty of oxygen.
A lot of people don't get 99 to 100%. I myself, and I've never smoked in my life. I never cared for it and advise against it. But even on my best days, I do 97%. That don't mean that I'm unhealthy or by no means or nothing like that. I get out and run, and I can run with the best of them sometimes. But 97% is just my body's average. You know, I might get 98 every once in a while, but I never do 99 or 100.
I'm going to get up.
See, it'll take it a minute. See the red light in there? That red light. As it beams through to another sensor over here.
Hey, what are you doing? He does. What? He's using it right now.
Now this machine that you're looking at does a lot more than just what you're doing right now. Mm-hmm. This is a heart monitor. We can hook it up to your, put pads on your chest. We can take a look at your heart in 1,000 different ways. We can take the blood pressure off of it. That we can actually hook up what we call a capnography device to it, and actually show you.
This fingernail polish a lot of times will interfere with it.
Sometimes.
So we have to. We'll take people's fingernail polish off.
Yeah.
Somebody's
might ruin your fingernails for a day.
Let's go down.
Yeah, this is your breathing pattern.
So, some of y'all might actually had one of these things used on you before. If you've ever been to the hospital or something like that, they usually yeah. I thought you're the one.
Really fast. Breathe really fast.
Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. I don't like it.
Oh, you're going down. You gotta breathe. You gotta breathe, JJ. Breathe. You're in a bad heart condition.
Now, one thing that we have all these machines that we put, but when we use this as a tool, just like anything like a calculator or anything used as a tool, but we don't rely on this completely because our patients know themselves better than we do. And so we talk to them and look at our patients to find out, you know, what really the issue is. This is just a tool that helps us, especially like in cardiac arrest and stuff. Where we can or if the heart's going too fast, we can shock it to slow it down. It's going too slow. We can pace it. This is also a pacer, so we can pace the heart rate.
I bet. Let's see what mine says.
And this is kind of what we have.
They passed out.
Get off of me.
What it does is
Don't look at me like
I'm being pushed.
Good.
Yeah, me too.
Pulls air through
Breathe
this
really fast.
system,
Like really, really
cleanses it,
fast.
make sure it's clean,
Like, see if it gets
with the
100.
filtering system, and then I push it over here to these.
I was 100.
gauges here.
I'm at 96.
Behind this
Breathe
door,
faster.
there's
Breathe
one
out.
bottle.
It's going.
Breathe in.
We'll put 2 bottles in this rack
Don't breathe out.
and hook them up and fill the system.
This is your
And
pulse.
that's kind of what it is. That holds the ball.
I don't know. I was wondering what that was.
So it seals it
I
behind the
guess
steel
that's good for a
cage.
person that
Where
passed out.
just in case
I was
something
99
fails,
the other day.
the bottle was ruptured or something.
I was 96.
That's the reason.
99, 96.
We're putting high